Hello folks, Legionnaire Archery here again. Today I'm going to talk to you about river cane arrows. This is a very intriguing subject for many archers out there. The river cane arrows are I consider them one of the best materials there is for making arrows. Especially, for example, there's different types of cane, as you all know. One of them is from the eastern United States, which was used by the natives over there. It's sometimes referred to as hill cane, and there's also a variation that doesn't grow in the hills, but I would say is just as strong. There is also cane from like the Mediterranean. That's some of the stuff that we have here in California, and that type of cane it's almost as strong as the hill cane, but it has slightly thinner walls, and it does have some strength to it, but in my opinion, it flies just as good, or if not, maybe a little better. I'm a little more familiar with that type of cane just because it grows here in California and I've used it extensively. And these arrows that I have here are made from cane that came from the eastern part of the US, and so excuse me, and they're pretty strong. I don't even remember the weight of these, but they have a foreshaft made out of just one of these. I don't even know what wood this is, but I used it. It's not a hardwood, but it'll do for this cane arrow. And so on cane arrows, what you want to do is always wrap the end there of the arrow where your foreshaft. As you can see here, it's a different type of wood, and so your main shaft meets your foreshaft, so you always want to wrap some sinew there to protect it. I heavily coated this with Knox gelatin to make sure it doesn't come apart, and to make sure that it holds this in place, because if this doesn't hold, the arrow is going to start splitting from here, especially when you start shooting it. On these I used epoxy resin to glue them, just because they're not going to be having any other types of points on these will just be for hunting, and also because when I shoot them sometimes on my hay bale, they stick, and then when I take them out, then the foreshaft just stays inside of the hay bale. I put some pigment there on the nodes, just a little decoration there. And then on these ones I just used black turkey feathers, and of course real sinew, and real sinew here on the end as well. And sometimes people like to put another piece of wood inside of here, just an insert, to make the knock a little stronger. But in this case, because it's this type of cane, it really doesn't need it. Or actually, for any type of cane, it really doesn't need it, but it just strengthens the shaft a little more. If I wanted to not have a foreshaft, what I would do is just insert a piece of wood there, and with some glue, and then just cut it off here at the end. That way I could mount a stone point, or whatever it is that I needed to mount, maybe a field point. So if you want to mount any like stone points or field points and don't want to have a foreshaft, then you just simply insert something in there, fill in the hole, and cut it off, and then you can go ahead and do that. But yes, these shafts, or these arrows, have a tendency to be pretty accurate for whatever reason. You have to do some minimal spining to them. You can't just take any shaft and expect it to perform. I would say that in my experience, the spine has not been quite an issue as with just regular wooden arrows, because I have noticed a difference with just the regular wood and then the river cane. This I just kind of go ahead and test for stiffness. Just make sure they're around the same stiffness, because if you have something that is obviously too weak and then you take something that is obviously too strong, then you're gonna have some issues there with the spining, whether you want to or not, because it's gonna affect the shafts a different way. But as long as you feel them out and they're relatively around the same stiffness, I would categorize them into 3 stiffnesses: is medium, weak, and stiff. And you know, for higher weight bows, obviously you need the stiffer ones, and then for like around 50-ish, you need the medium ones. I've also shot the stiffer ones from medium weight bows, and you know, I've had good results. I wouldn't recommend it with the smaller bows though, but because of the, obviously if you have a wider handle, that's gonna have an effect on your accuracy. But for hunting distances of up to like 20 yards, they're pretty accurate. I've shot them about 20-25 yards, and you know, I'm getting a good grouping, you know, around like a, I would say a 7-inch diameter, 7 to 8 inch in diameter groupings, like a paper plate, one of those white paper plates. I could hit one of those out of 20 yards with, you know, with a set of these. And then the other part is you want to match them by weight. What I do is I usually take the outer layer out. I try not to as much because it does weaken the arrow a little bit, but I take out this portion to, you know, get them matched in weight. And I'm weighing them, and I can get them between, you know, 20 grains. I probably even less. I can get them pretty close if I wanted to, but it just requires time. Other than that, once you got them weighed, you can also figure out their balance point. That's also one of the things that I've learned from watching like the Chinese make their arrows. You want to have the same balance point, because that has an effect as well. So if you get your arrows, balance them, weigh them, and straighten them. With this river cane, you can actually get them pretty darn straight, as I'll show you here. That's pretty darn straight. Pretty straight. So yeah, you can see I got one arrow that's the main shaft is 28 inches. It's the longer one, and then I got 2 arrows that I accidentally measured once, so I'm gonna have to remake them because they're only 25 inches. It was a dumb mistake, but nonetheless, now I have 2 25-inch arrows and 4 28-inch, you know, main shaft arrows. In full length, these are about 32 inches long, and so I'm gonna have to make another 2 of these, and so I can have a half dozen. Anyway, that's about it for this topic. If you guys need me to, you know, speak about any topic that you're interested in, just put it in the comments below, and I'll be happy to, you know, if I'm to share with you the knowledge that I've acquired over the years. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to visit the website www.legionnairearchery.com. I got a few bows in stock right now, so if you need any bows for your hunting season, I got some that should work. All right. Thank you.